Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Corcoran Entertainment Show. I am your host, Franky Corcoran. Wow, this is what the outside of my bedroom looks like. Wow, I have been out of commission the last couple of days. Every time I start the show, I'm always giving a little bit of whether I'm plugging something or I'm addressing what's going on with the weather and encourage everyone to be safe. One thing I'm going to encourage right now is definitely self-care is important, guys. I'm just getting over a wicked flu that took me out the last few days. And just absolutely, I wouldn't wish it on anybody. So just thought I'd preface this. If you might still hear a little bit in my throat, but during these solo segments, of course, for the interview, we pre-recorded the interview in the episode with Slipp. So I'm right as rain in that interview, but in the solo segments, I'm kind of I might sound a little groggy. Hopefully, I don't. Maybe you guys had no idea, and I just ruined it by saying that I was sick, and you guys didn't know. But anyways, just one of those things that even though spring is fast approaching, the weather's getting warmer outside, it doesn't mean that sickness is nobody's invincible. So just still take precaution, guys, and all that good stuff, and just rest and take good care of yourself. So on the mend now, and as I said, we pre-recorded our interviews for this week, and so I think that's one of the best parts about podcasting too, is getting to pre-record interviews and have them all in the hopper, which is good. So, and that's exactly what we did this week. We recorded this, I think, a week ago now. Slipp, she is one of my all-time favorite guests on the podcast. You guys who have seen the Bell Fibe TV-1 series, Dons, she plays the character of Andy in the first two seasons of that. Be sure to go check it out on Bell Fibe TV-1, and great conversation. We always go off on a lot of different things, and so hopefully you guys enjoy it, and be sure to keep up to date with all of Abby's projects and things like that. Follow her on Instagram and all that. So thank you again, Abby, and we're always working on stuff together. So that's always very, very exciting. So later on the show, for our solo segments, I want to talk about a Walking Dead reunion crossover series may or may not be in the works. We have conflicting reports. I'll kind of break down both reports and kind of give my own thesis as to what's going to happen. And Seth MacFarlane confirms that there's no plans for Ted Season 3. I'll give my thoughts on that. Of course, Season 2 is out now. And so now, of course, the big question is what's happening with Season 3? Well, according to Seth MacFarlane, there's no plan for one, but we'll talk about that later on the show. But until further ado, guys, if you like the episode, just be sure to give us a nice review rating. Always means the world. And without further ado, just sit back, relax, and enjoy the podcast today. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Corcoran Entertainment Show. I'm your host, Franky Corcoran, and today I am joined by someone who's not a stranger to the podcast. This is her third time, I think she's been on. Yeah, third time. She's an actress who you guys who's seen Dons on Bell Fibe TV-1 would recognize her as Andy, and she is also just chilling, eating crackers, and doing a podcast with me. Always... Always a blast talking to her. Slipp. Abby, what's up?
Wow, thank you for that warm welcome, Franky. But wait, you're telling me this isn't the good hang with Amy Poehler? Right.
Would you have preferred that or what?
Oh, I better call my agent. Oh, things got messed up there. Just kidding.
Oh, can you imagine? Gee.
Well, I'm very happy to be here.
Yes, geez. Oh, yeah. No, I doubt it. Yeah. No, it's fine. I feel like that'd be the type of podcast you'd have to pay to be on. I wonder how that would work. Like those big shows like that.
I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know how they work.
I don't know. Wait. I don't think we'll ever get there.
You're not paying me to be on here. Oh, right.
Neither of us are getting paid. What?
Yeah, what? You guys, what's that one off where the mailers? Wait, you guys are getting paid?
Yeah.
That's literally it. Oh my God. Yeah, this is how like me and Abby are always working on stuff together, and 90% of our meetings go this way. Where then we just get off on a tangent. We're like, okay, how do we get here? Where do we how does this work? I don't know. But thankfully we have AI companion on Zoom, which is
Yes.
so funny. Some of the ones that
Yes.
we get, for those of you guys who don't know and you use Zoom, turn on AI companion. I should have turned it on for this one, but it's so funny some of the stuff it says where it just summarizes the whole meeting. What was
Mhm.
the one we did that one time when you got pizza and the pizza guy came to the door?
Yeah, and I don't remember what we were doing, but I was like, just hold on, the pizza guy's here. So I went to go get pizza. And then there was like a heading in the AI companion that was like, Abby going to get pizza. And then like a description of that underwear. Like, thank you. That was not a major plot point of the meeting, but
It was just so funny, and just
yeah.
how it will interpret certain things. Like we did a Zoom. We couldn't do a practice for a show one time in person because of a snowstorm, so we did it all on Zoom. So we read through we did a line reading of the play on Zoom, and afterwards it was like so and so, like I'm just gonna say the actors' names. Drew said he was returning his underwear and blah 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 and this and that. I'm just like, oh my God, it actually thought that it was real.
Yeah.
So it's so funny how that works, but
They're just such good
it's
actors. But,
yes, exactly. That's what it
you get the
is.
line.
That's all it is. But no, so it does come in handy though, I gotta say. Despite all the you know, as bad as it's been, what's been your take? We've had of course a lot of I wouldn't say controversy, but we've had a lot of uh question going on about AI kind of taking actors' jobs. As an actor yourself, how do you kind of view that? Where you're seeing some of these commercials where they're just using AI people. Does that piss you off? Does that just kind of like how do you view that as an actor who's trying to really make it into the industry? How does it make you feel?
Well, it does make me feel pretty terrible. But I'm sure you've heard that from every actor, like in North America. Like I don't think any of them are sitting there like, wow, I don't have to do my job anymore. You know? And I guess there's no need to beat a dead horse, but yeah, it sucks. Um, it sucks that that's what art is coming to, you know, just that it's AI could be a tool, but we're not using it that way. We're using it to be lazy. That's what it is, lazy, if you're using AI to replace artists. I'm sorry, but
No,
hot
it
take.
is. No, really.
Not really a hot take, but
But like what you and I have learned in like working on stuff and pitching stuff and things like that is when it comes down to like budgeting is always a huge thing, is
yeah.
making sure like if we're writing something and we're like we need to make sure that we keep the locations minimum and things like that.
Mhm.
So then you get where some people come from in the sense of like, okay, it's actually cheaper to use AI for this,
Oh,
but
100%. Yeah.
at the same time, you look and there's artists out there that are struggling to pay their bills because nobody's hiring them because they're just going the cheap route, you know? So
Yeah.
in all that we've learned through, production and budgeting and things like that, what would you say is kind of like how has that kind of changed your perspective on like different TV shows and stuff like that, where maybe they're having budgetary reasons, but you're like, I understand why, you know?
Yeah, I mean, if you're like, if say you're like a small scale YouTuber or something, and like you're making like a fan film, like sure, like I see, and like it's really just a passion project for you, then I see why, but the networks have a lot of money to give. Most of them do. And and I don't know, we're never like the New Brunswick industry is just starting to get the ball rolling, Like if we're just starting to get on our own legs, we're not depending on so much on everybody coming in from Nova Scotia all the time, which like is so great that the Nova Scotia industry is doing well. I'm so happy for them. That bring back more for the Maritimes, but New Brunswick's got it too. We saw that with Revival, and if we're gonna develop an industry here and keep developing it, we can't replace anybody with AI, where it's so small. Like anybody, not
No.
just an actor, like a writer, a editor, all that.
Yeah, no, and it's really all about like, hey, I'm all for using it if it's
Hmm.
for if you're using it to get feedback on a script or whatever.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Yeah, but if you're using it just to like one thing I see people using it for too is if they're designing a poster or they're designing a
Hmm.
book cover or something like that, they'll use AI to kind of like brainstorm different ideas and then they'll get an
Yeah,
artist to draw that. It's like, okay, that right there is fine. Using it as a tool like that,
yeah.
that's completely fine. Don't use it to do
Mhm.
everything for you, you know?
Yeah.
In
Well,
an industry that's already, struggling to keep its head above water.
yeah. It's like when I go to McGill and like AI is just like became a big thing in school a few years ago. And like, yeah, you can use it to help you study, or you could use it to write your essays for you.
Either way, it's
So,
kind of like
but like it helps you study, and that's great. Like you can use it as a tool, but then if it's writing your essays for you, then you're not learning anything. It's like help or hinder tell you that.
yeah, no, like if there's an engineer who used ChatGPT to do their exam, I'm not stepping foot onto a bridge that they
Yeah,
constructed. You know what I
exactly.
mean? That's but speaking of McGill,
Mhm.
that was your adventure last year. You were in McGill, and so the acting thing kinda in a way kinda got put on hold. What was it like? Because I mean, obviously, acting is a big passion of yours.
Mhm.
You have an agent, you've got on, a really good show and things like that, and you're always auditioning. What was it like when you kind of had to choose between, or maybe not necessarily choose, but like I'm going to university doing nursing and everything, but I also have this passion for acting and I got an agent and everything like that. How did you kind of balance both of those out of like, do I want this? But what also do I need this? What do I like? How did you kind of choose?
I don't think I handled it very well, to be honest. 'Cause I think I could handle it a lot better. I just tried to say yes to everything, and it didn't work out. There were definitely some one or the other situations. Like I don't remember if I talked about this last time, but I had had a call back for a pretty for would have been one of the two main characters in it was a network TV show. This would have been like career changing for me. But a couple weeks before I had the call back, I got my acceptance to McGill. And I was like, I can do both. We'll make it work. And I got to the call back and I thought I did pretty good. And then everything was going great. And then my mom was like, you need to tell the casting director that you're going to McGill. And I told her, I said, I am going to McGill, but I'll come back when I'm not at school. And that never would have worked. And then I never heard back from them again. And it could have been like a different choice that they made, but it definitely didn't help that I said I wasn't gonna be there. So yeah, it didn't work out trying to do everything. There's some things you got to say no to,
And
and
well, that's the
yeah,
worst of it. Like, and then for you, you're like, this could have been career changing, but like,
yeah,
there's some things that would be career changing and then you don't realize it till afterwards. Like if you go and you see
exactly,
that TV show really blow up and you're just like, that could have been me. You know,
yeah.
like, do you beat yourself up some days with a certain, maybe not necessarily this TV show you're talking about here, but maybe like another project that you're like, I auditioned for that. What would my life look like had I gotten that part, or had I even tried to audition for that part?
Oh, 100%. Like, and it's not like I try because like you gotta when you're acting, you have to be able to let things go, or else you're just gonna drive yourself insane. Um, but there have been auditions that I'm like, I thought I would have been really good for that. But then life, school got in the way, and then I don't send in my self tape until like a half hour before. and I'm sweaty and it's the first take I send in and like it's not a great take and then it's just sort of and like the camera's shaky and like everything that could go wrong did go wrong and you're and I'm wondering at that point if my agent even sent it in because it wasn't a good audition. Um that's more where I get like, oh, I could have done better. But if I know if I did my best and I sent in my best audition, then I'm happy with that. And if they didn't go with me, then that's okay. But if I know and I could have done better, I do wonder what if.
Like, do you still even if like in the moment you're like, I killed it, I did my best. Will you look back on that years from now and go like, crap, I didn't do my best? I find I do that all the time. I'm like,
Yeah.
I gave it my all for this project and everything,
Mhm.
and then years later, I'm like, geez, I guess I could have done better. Do you ever have those feelings?
No, because I think acting is such a learning process. Like people think, oh, she's a good actor, she's not a good actor. Like I think you can start off as a bad actor and become a really good one. Um, so like I think I did the best for where it was at the time. But there, it's funny. There are some auditions that I did get the part for, and I'm looking back and I'm like, why did anyone ever hire me? Like I think about my Odan's audition, and I'm like, they really saw something that I don't see here.
But that's just the artist in us, the imposter
Yeah.
syndrome that takes over. It's always
Mhm.
something that I talk about. It's that we always have that we just don't think uh like, oh, I'm terrible. You could be the best singer in the world. Think about how many artists out there that are like the biggest in the world. Do you think Taylor
Yeah.
Swift doesn't wonder, like, like,
Oh,
this song here was terrible, what was I thinking? She has
I
to
know,
think that.
and she's got millions of fans telling her it's the greatest thing ever, and like I'm sure you're right. She still thinks like that sometimes.
God, she's got fans that literally bawl their eyes out because they heard her song.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I just can't believe that. I don't know if I've ever liked an artist that much to the point that I would bawl my eyes out and drool just because I love them so much. Is there an artist that you would do that for?
Jimmy McKinley. Just kidding.
Ah, yes, Jimmy. I do too every time.
We should send this to him. Make sure he listens to this one.
I'll make sure he does. I'll send this part to him.
No, I don't think I do. Like there are definitely characters that I will cry over in a movie or like a show. I'm like, wow, that's so well done. Everything is put together so well, but I think I don't know, I separate the art from the artist a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, well, see, that's what you're supposed to do. Because there's
Yeah?
people who well something, well, like I will never forget that there's some actors out there, like on The Walking Dead there was one, he literally had to delete his social media account because his character had betrayed or the protagonist.
Yeah.
People were sending him death threats and everything, and it's like,
Oh
dude,
goodness.
that's, you can't separate it. If you can't separate the character from the actor,
Yeah.
that's not a them problem. That's a you problem. That's
Mhm.
just like, you need to go touch grass.
But also like what a cool accomplishment that is for that actor.
That's cool. Yeah, I wonder if he looks back on that now and is just like,
Mhm.
wow, I did such a good job that I literally had to delete my social
Yeah.
media because I
Like
got
I
death
affected
threats.
people in that way so intensely.
Have you ever, is there ever an actor or like a character in a show that you watch them in and just absolutely despise their character, and then you see them in real life and you still despise them? Like, have you ever had that at all?
I don't think I've seen a lot of actors in real life.
Or like
one example I can think
on a
of.
talk show or something like that?
Yeah. One that I find really hard to separate. He's so good at playing the bad guy. What's his name? He plays Q on Star Trek. Jonathan Jonathan Delancey?
Jonathan Delancey. I feel
I
like I've
don't know
heard
if
that.
that's his name. He plays Q on Star Trek The Next Generation, and he plays a bad guy on Stargate SG-1, and you just want to hate him. I remember watching that show with my dad when I was a kid, and like I said to my dad, I was like, I don't know what's wrong with me. Every time he comes on screen, I just get angry.
That's him doing
It's
his
like,
job.
yeah, and I'm like, wow, he's such a good actor. Like now looking back, I'm like, wow, I wish I could evoke that intense feelings in somebody just for like by appearing on screen.
But that's got to be though the best, because like it's one thing when you're just playing someone who's just like yourself, who's just a good person, they're funny, they're whatever.
Yeah,
But it's got to be so much more fun to just play someone who's just the worst human being in the world, because you're like, I get to be somebody I'm not. Or if you had to choose what part you would like to play, would you rather play a villain or would you rather play a good guy?
oh, I would 100% rather play a villain.
Yes.
I don't know, because I don't know, I love my superheroes, but I also am like that would be so fun to play a villain. Just like a good one. Like a
Well,
well-written villain.
there's some protagonists in some movies that I'm just like, yeah, you deserve this. If you have
Mm,
stuff that's going on, like there was one, I don't know why I was thinking about it the other day. It was Greg Heffley in Diary of a Wimpy Kid. When you're like, this guy's the protagonist, but he's just doing stuff that I'm just like, yeah, yeah, you had that coming. You had it coming. You know what I mean?
mm. Oh yeah. No, I love that. I love multi-dimensional characters. And I think that's why I'm such a pain in the butt when we're writing characters. It's like, I will not fall into stare. I like they need to have so many layers.
But it's good, but like I think you need to make them multi-dimensional because
Yeah.
that's where the conversation comes from. It's the
Hmm.
conversation of no, he was justified for doing this because of this, this, and this. Like one of the things that I love about Breaking Bad is that the writing's so good, the acting's so good that we're literally, spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't seen it, cover your
I
ears,
haven't
Abby.
seen it yet.
You haven't seen it? Okay, cover your ears. It's that we're literally cheering on Walter White and defending him for poisoning and almost killing a little kid.
Wow.
The fact that we're literally like justifying it, oh, he did it because of this and did it because of that.
Hmm.
It's like, okay, maybe, but he poisoned a
Yeah.
kid who didn't deserve it. You know what I mean? Just for
Yeah.
his, own, personal mission, Like it's just,
Mhm.
but the fact that you're willing to make something of that, and that the fact that you're willing to make somebody contemplate why is this person who is just the worst person in the world versus this guy who's a good guy? How come I want the bad guy to win? Like it's just, if you're willing to
Yeah.
do that, do you ever sometimes find yourself like wondering, I feel like a bad person because I would just want this, I want the bad person to win, Do you ever feel that sometimes with some actors or characters?
I don't I personally don't feel bad, but when I've watched movies with other people, I've been like, "Oh, that was so cool. I love what the villain just did." And they'll be like, "Are you like?" And what movie was it? Is Jordan Peele, is that his name? His first movie, Get Out.
Oh, right.
And anyway, when the villain does something like shows her true colors at the end, I'm like, "That's awesome!" And then everyone turns and goes, "What are you like racist?" I'm like, "No, that was just really good acting."
Why don't you get it?
Yeah,
Uh,
it's art.
yeah, that's our or the Martin Scorsese meme, cinema, absolute
Yeah,
cinema. That's but
yeah,
no, that's always, if you're able to make people feel those types of feelings towards, and then when you take a step back and look at it and go, okay, this is just a piece of entertainment. You're like, what am I doing here? But then you're just like, props, man, props for
yeah.
making you hate it, whether it's the writer or the actor or
Hmm.
whoever it is. And it's I do love what you say about loving to play villains versus heroes, because I mean,
Yeah.
one it's just getting to be someone who you aren't.
Hmm.
Uh, or
You don't know
or
that.
or some people, maybe they're a villain in real life and they're also a villain, and they just find it easier to method act. I don't know.
That's what I'm doing. Yeah.
That's a she's a terrible person in real life, but she always plays a protagonist. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's just challenging myself. Yeah.
But do you kind of prefer? Would you prefer playing a villain or acting in a story that's grounded in reality, or would you rather have one that's kind of like, a fictional setting that's, like I'd rather play someone who's like a high school bully, or I'd rather
Mhm.
play a villain on a spaceship or something like that. Like, do you kind of have a would you have a preference, or is it just, whichever one comes my way?
You're asking the tough questions today, Frankie. It's a good thing
But
I had
see,
that nap.
that's just what that makes it more engaging instead of just a
Yeah,
simple tell me this, tell me that.
yeah, no. I would say because I love sci-fi, especially sci-fi that happens on a spaceship. But also, like, I don't want to be like a cartoony like Power Rangers villain. You know, you know what I mean? Like, I want to have something with depth. But like, and I think realistically, I mean, if you were gonna cast me based on my voice and appearance, I'd probably play not the villain or in a high school setting, not a big. I don't think anyone would cast me as like a angry spaceship villain. Realistically, here comes this 5'1" ball of rage. But or
Oh my god.
I don't know. There are some good like. I think of the Queen Borg from Star Trek. She was a great female villain. Um, like that had a lot of depth. That was a beautiful character, super well written. Or she was just a floating head. I loved that.
You want to just be a floating head?
Yeah. No, and then like you don't have to worry about working out or anything. Eating well goes out the window. If all I have to do is use my head, go for it.
Floating head is the dream role of a
Yeah,
lifetime.
yeah,
After you get that, you're like, I can happily retire. Uh,
yeah,
oh, that's it. Yeah, retire young, like Tom Holland plans to do. That's
yeah,
something that he. That's. I hear someone ask a question about that. They're like, "Why is he retiring at 28?" He said when he has kids, he's going to retire.
yeah,
That's his thing.
mhm,
And if he's already engaged and everything, that might not be too far behind.
yeah.
Maybe he's could have another couple of years left. Do you think someone that age, like if you were to have all the money in the world, if you were to have everything you ever wanted at a young age, at the age you are now, 25, right? 26?
23.
23. Well, you thought I was like
I
30.
know, I thought you were
So,
30, so I deserve that.
yes, exactly.
I can't be mad there.
Yeah, geez, yeah, she thought I was 30 and she said, "What?" I was offended. But if you were to have like everything that you ever wanted at 23, would you retire or would you keep on going?
I don't know. I mean, if there was, first of all, like working, no matter what you're doing, like there's more in, unless you're at a terrible job, there's usually more in it than just money, you know? There's like friends and interactions and stuff. So I don't know if I would retire completely, but like in Tom Holland's case, like where does he go from after being Spider-Man? Like he's done some great indie films, he's done some great characters. Like I think of The Crowded Room and Cherry. Like
Uncharted, which wasn't great, but he was in it.
yeah,
It made money.
he was there. Just
Yeah,
kidding.
he made money. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's about all we can say about it.
And like if you've I don't know, if he doesn't feel like there's more he can get out of the industry, then like good for him. Like move on to something else.
The Corkin Entertainment Show is brought to you by Podmatch, the ultimate platform designed to connect podcast hosts with prospective guests effortlessly. Are you a podcaster looking to elevate your show to new heights? Or perhaps you're a guest hoping to share your story with a broader audience? Whatever your podcasting goals are, we have the perfect solution for you. Podmatch simplifies the entire process of discovering guests for your show or finding podcasts to feature your expertise. Now imagine a platform where you can easily match with like-minded creators tailored specifically to your niche. With Podmatch, you can effortlessly network with influencers and thought leaders, all while staying true to your podcast vision. There are a multitude of ways that Podmatch can help you grow your brand. You can be part of a thriving community of podcasters and potential guests. Engage, collaborate, and grow together. If you're ready to experience these fantastic benefits for yourself, we invite you to join Podmatch today. Head over to www.joinpodmatch.com/Corkin Entertainment and sign up right now for only $6 a month. That's right, you heard me right, $6 a month. Join the Podmatch family today and watch your podcast soar to new altitudes. Thank you for tuning into the Corkin Entertainment Show, and happy podcasting. Yeah, like I always thought it was interesting because I remember someone said this one time, maybe it was a Reddit thread or something like that. Someone said, like, if you had like all the money in the world, you were set for life, would you still work? And my thing is always, yeah, I probably would, because it's like I'm the type of person that I don't want to just do nothing all day. I don't want to.
Yeah.
It sounds great when you look at it or like hear it, when someone's like okay, just sitting at home, I have all the money in the world, I can just sit around and play games or watch TV or do whatever all day. I'm not that type of person nowadays. Now, if this was me like 10 years ago, maybe I could have done that. But nowadays, I don't like sitting still for too long. I
Mm-hmm.
don't like, like it's just for me, that's, and some people are different. Some people would prefer that. Um but it's always one of those things. It's never a bad thing to retire young. That's
Yeah.
one thing, because I mean, God, if you retire at 28 like Tom Holland is, with all that money in the that you ever need, you got what, 40 some years to just keep on
Mm.
going and enjoy your life. Like, damn, like that's a pretty good, and then just do the odd movie here and there.
Yeah.
But then I look at someone like Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey's a big one too that I always look at. Who he's 64, 65-ish now. He wouldn't have to work anymore. He's made more than enough money. He just kind of acts whenever he wants to. Um, and it's really, sometimes people can look at that and go, how can you turn away all that money? But to me, and then is this something that you agree with? It's not always about the money. Like is
Yeah.
acting for you has to be the passion. You can't be in it just for the money. Like, how do you see that?
Oh, yeah. Bro, if I was in it for the money, like, I'm an idiot. What money?
You guys are getting paid?
Yeah. I mean, no. I mean, when I'm on set now that I'm in the union, um, yeah, I do get paid a lot and just never on set. So, for being honest, I was on set in October. Did I think it was a limited series. I don't even know what I was doing. It was fun. Had some great burritos. That's one thing that's great about the union. They feed you well.
Know who you sound like right now? Know who you sound like right now? You sound
Ooh,
like Bill Burr is who you sound like right now. I'm
what's up?
sure just say, who's Bill Burr?
Yeah.
The stand-up comedian. You know Bill Burr? Really?
Nope.
Really?
He
Oh
must
shit.
I don't know. The only stand-up comedian I know is Jimmy McKinley.
Oh, okay, fair enough. That's all we need to know. Uh,
Yeah.
no, Bill Burr, basically he did the a comedy festival. Bill Burr's thing is that he's always ripping on billionaires and trillionaires.
Yeah.
And but then there was a comedy festival in Saudi Arabia, the Riyadh Comedy Festival, and people gave him crap because he accepted money to perform there from a trillionaire. And but he was justifying it. But they had a Chili's. It was all good, man. You know what I mean? Like, they had a Chili's. They're just like us. You know what I mean? It's like, that's what it is. This could be the worst set, but hey, they gave us burritos.
Oh yeah. And I didn't best part, I didn't even ask for a burrito. It wasn't supper time or anything. There was just a PA came over and was like, "Hey, here's your burrito." And I was like, "Score."
Take that shit. That's pretty damn good.
Yeah. I was like, "Yeah, dang." It was pretty nice.
You're like, I don't work for the money. I just work for the free burritos. That's,
Oh yeah, but you know what? Catering is so good on set.
yeah, they're
Like,
the very few sets I've been on, the catering has always been good.
Odon's doesn't count. Odon's doesn't count. Like, I mean, I'm so thankful for my time there, and every aspect was great. But like, we had Tim Hortons bowls for lunch. Like, I'm in it. I didn't go there for the food, I promise.
But
But
that's Miramichi. Like Miramichi, we're so hell. We're losing our movie theater here. Like we
oh,
don't
really,
really we don't have honestly a crazy amount. You know what I mean? I might have to friggin' move to Woodstock for God's sakes. Like
yeah,
that's
I think so. Someone told me the other day that they went on vacation to Miramichi, and I was like, "Okay, what did you do when you walked to the end of the one street? Like, what else do you do?"
there's really nothing else to do. That's what I mean. Like it's so. And now, don't get me wrong, I love the city to death and
Yeah.
everything, but you know, and I compare it all to when I say what we don't have and then what you guys have. You guys still have your movie theater, right?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. Do you guys have Cineplex or is it
No, Atlantic Cinemas.
Atlantic Cinemas? Hopefully,
Like
they can buy out, the building here because it's closing at the end of April.
I don't think so. I
Um,
think we're the only place that has Atlantic Cinemas. I think it's like a family run. Like,
Crap. Yeah,
yeah,
that just makes me so
sorry.
sad that I'm like
Yeah.
now I'm going to be living in a town that already doesn't have a whole lot to do, and
Mm.
we're losing
Yeah,
our
you
movie
could-
theater.
yeah. Where would your closest movie theater be? Like Moncton?
Probably Moncton, I'd say.
Wow, and that's like an hour and a half.
Well, I have to plan it. We're already planning a road trip to go see Avengers Doomsday at in
Oh,
December. Like it's like, oh, what do you go to Moncton for? You going for a concert? No, we're going to watch Avengers Doomsday. Like
yeah.
I'm going to watch Robert Downey Jr. in,
Yeah.
they're like, oh my God, he's coming to Moncton. Well, yeah, because he's not, he can't come.
Speaking of great villains, sorry,
Yes,
I'm
it
so
all
excited.
about Doomsday.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
It
I
sounds
like. I know.
kind of sarcastic.
No, I'm it's genuine. Maybe I need to work on my acting. That was genuine.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, for a second, I was like, the way you said it, you're like, yeah, I'm so excited. I'm like, are you really? You don't sound excited.
No, I am. I am so excited. It was my friend's birthday the day it comes out, and I texted her the minute we got the like release date, and I was like, "Sorry, we're not doing anything for your birthday next year."
But tell me this: is it not desperate what they're doing by bringing Robert Downey Jr. back? In your opinion?
Oh, 100%.
But does that still affect your
100%.
viewing? That doesn't change your view on it?
No, because I'm counting on. Oh, the fact that they're bringing Steve Rogers back, like, I
I'm
mean,
not a
it's such a
fan. I
yeah.
love Steve Rogers to death. Like he's my favorite Avengers character. Captain
Mhm.
America is my favorite superhero. I just think they ended that story so perfectly that they didn't have to bring him back. That's just my
Yeah,
view on it.
but also it's a comic books thing. Like, like in a comic book universe, no one ever stays dead.
But this one just screams desperation, which I mean, granted, okay, you
Yeah.
could say that about a few other projects. Deadpool and
Mhm.
Wolverine, you could say was desperate. Um,
But was
but
great.
but was great. No, absolutely. But the whole Doctor Doom, Robert Downey Jr. being Doctor Doom, I
Mhm.
find it so desperate because they had it all planned that it was going to be Kang. Kang, the Kang dynasty was going to
Yeah.
be the next one. Jonathan
Yeah.
Majors, they were building him up. Then, of course, he had his legal troubles. They fired
Mhm.
him. They're like, okay, let's just, okay, we're getting, the MCU is getting a lot of bad rap right now. We need something good. We got to find some way to bring more people and bring more attention to it. Let's just bring back Robert Downey Jr. and bring him back as Doctor Doom. And then the way they talk about it, they're like,
Mhm.
oh, it's always been the plan. They don't
Yeah.
outright say that, but they imply that, oh, yeah, it's always been the plan. It's like, no, clearly that was never part of the plan. That was just you guys just were just scrambling trying to figure out how to fix the
Mhm.
mess that Jonathan Majors left. And then of course along the line they're like, let's just bring back Steve Rogers too while we're at it, which as I
I know.
said, nothing in Steve Rogers. I just think for you to kind of just bring him right back, it's just like it feels like there's going to be no emotional stakes now. You know what I mean? At least with
Yeah.
Endgame, it felt like there were stakes because there.
Mhm.
Yes, now you're bringing him back as Doctor Doom. That's just my thoughts. But I'd love to hear your thoughts. I
Yeah.
just ranted.
No, I I always down to hear your thoughts, Frankie.
Yes, thank
Um,
you.
Well, that's why you created a podcast, right? So people can hear your thoughts.
Yeah, literally, exactly. This is my platform, so I can just rant about
Yeah.
about my thoughts on this. Yes.
Um, I don't know. Like, I think the way that it was marketed, 100%, it's just a desperate attempt. Like, how cool would it have been if you had no idea it was coming that Robert Downey Jr. was going to be the guy in Doomsday? Or, like, you had no idea that Steve Rogers was going to be back. There was no reason to announce that. I get announcing Robert Downey Jr., but, like, like, how fast they did it, like, that's kind of crazy. Like, that was the one thing they marketed the movie on.
Literally, and I think of all the Doomsday trailers they released, I think the Steve Rogers one has the most views, I think. I
Yeah.
haven't checked, but I'm going out on a limb and probably going to say that. But
But
hey,
also,
it's money. Wait, what's that?
yeah. No, I was just thinking, who's the baby? Is it Sharon Carter? Is it the girl that he goes on a date with in Winter Soldier? Like,
Yeah, there's
what's their
questions there
family
too.
tree? You know?
Yeah, true.
No, I guess that was she was a niece. Sorry, but still.
Still, it's to me, I still would have liked that to just be kind of open to interpretation, you know?
Yeah,
It's like, now obviously we'll definitely get answers in Doomsday as to what it is.
yeah,
But I don't know. It just still screams desperate. That's all it is. Now maybe now don't get me wrong, I do still understand that there's lots of potential that comes from this. Like
Mhm.
imagine like just like Tom Holland's reaction to seeing his father figure now being a
That's
supervillain.
what I'm excited for.
That's got potential. Don't get me wrong. I do
Yeah,
see the potential for it. It's just how they're executing it. To me, I'm just like, really, you could have done a million other things. You could have
yeah,
gotten someone suggested Killian Murphy could play Doctor Doom. I said he would have actually been a perfect Doctor Doom. Um, but it is what it is, and
yeah.
money talks, and that's something that we all learned from the industry is that at the end of the day it is a business and that will
Hmm.
sell. So I understand why they did it.
Yeah,
But and that's something that we've learned too through working on different stuff and you working
yeah,
in the industry as well, is that it is a business too. So
yeah.
um that it's just it is what it is, and
Hmm.
I'm still intrigued no matter what to see how it goes down. But feel free to tell me a little bit, speaking of the industry. Odon season 2
Yeah,
has it is out. Last time we talked on the show, we filming had just wrapped for it. What's it
yeah.
like now that you have seen that out now? Like it's the hard work has kind of paid off. People are watching it. What are your thoughts on it?
First of all, I'm just so impressed with what the cast and the crew put together. I mean, you were there for a few days, but you saw like how long the days were and how quickly everything came together. And like, some stuff was cut, like some episodes were cut, some things were shuffled around. I could only be there 3 days. And like, but everybody made it work and they worked so, so hard. And I'm just so proud of everyone involved, especially like Kristen and Taylor did an amazing job. And Devin really shined this year. Like, he went from like having no lines in season one to being out like this breakout, like fantastic character. And I'd be like, "Hey, can I slap you?" And he'd be like, "Yeah." And then in the scene, I just whack.
That's perfect. Hey, can I smack you?
He's like, "Yeah, yeah, do it."
That's good commitment there. I love that.
Yeah,
Uh, but yeah, it is so nice to just see it pay off. Like that's always the best
yeah,
part is getting to see the hard work pay off when you're like, I was there when that was filming,
yeah,
and and it's also just the fact that you just being able to say that I've been on a sitcom for 2 years, 2 seasons. It's a big
which is
thing.
also amounts to like 2 weeks, but
Oh, but still, I mean, like it is 2 seasons.
yeah,
That's a lot. Lots of shows might not even make it to season
mm,
1. So the fact that
yeah,
you got 2 seasons as a series regular, that's really
mm.
good. Like that's
Thank you.
fantastic. It truly
No,
is.
it's something to be proud of, and it's something to be thankful for. Um, and I think even just having that success in the so early in my acting career was like just crazy to me. Um, because going straight from like having like a couple commercials to going on a series regular and a union job, like that was wild. And I'm so thankful that people gave me that opportunity. Again, like I watched that tape again. I don't know why they picked me, but just kidding. Yeah, I'm so thankful. And I feel like I am a little disappointed with my performance in season two. And I mean I'm not afraid to say this because I don't know, like I've straight up told people that I'm not happy with it, and they've all been like, no, it was so good. But I'm like, I know I didn't give it my all because at the time I was doing the qualifying year of my master's at McGill in nursing, and I was doing like I remember I came from a clinical shift, which was 8 hours. I think we were doing psych at the time, so it wasn't like too much walking around. It was a lot of writing, but um, and talking. So we did a clinical shift. It was me, and then I got on the plane, 6 o'clock or 5 or 6. I left for the airport, and then that was like my window to learn my lines because I just had so much studying to do before that. And then so like scrambling in the hotel to learn my lines, and then the next day shooting. That was it was tricky, and then like having like a 16-hour day, which the I'm super impressed by all the cast and crew that were able to just like do that. Because I remember like I'm pretty sure I slept on the floor at one point, like in on our lunch break. I was so tired, and like there were some lines I couldn't remember, and they were like, okay, just make something up, and like it wasn't. I'm not proud of that performance at all. I do think I did the best I could at the time. It just wasn't great timing for me. Um, and I wasn't feeling my best either. Like I was just super stressed, and I don't felt I had the creativity that I had in season one. Um, yeah, yeah. Well, that's out there for the internet to know now.
Well, you almost kind of feel like maybe I bit off more than I could chew, you know what I mean? Like it's kind
Oh,
of like
100%.
like it was, I'm sure that probably had to be like a one of those moments that made me realize, or that made you realize I had to make a choice. Like is it my
Mhm.
acting or is it nursing? Like what do I want to do? Was that kind of where your mind was?
It was, but like I don't know. I had the opportunity to be back, and like oh, like I don't know. Odon's like did so much for my career, like got me so many opportunities I didn't have before that I'm like, well, like I have to be back. Like I love these people. I love O'Donoghue's. I love acting. Like and these people that we're working with, like they're like the best of the best of Woodstock. Not Woodstock, sorry, New Brunswick. None of them are from
Okay,
Woodstock.
like the 1% is from Woodstock.
There's always the only one from Woodstock. I don't know why I said that. New Brunswick, New Brunswick.
Yeah, Woodstock's the only city in New Brunswick.
Not even a city.
It's not even a city.
Yeah, still bigger than Miramichi.
Yeah, it is too. It is. I will be the first to tell you that.
Oh yeah. Hey, if you want to move here, we'll welcome you.
I may take you up on that.
Yeah. Okay. There's an extra bed in my rooms.
Okay, sounds good. Slumber party.
Yeah.
Um, but it really is like the fact that you're able to look back on that now, and for you to say like, like, okay, that wasn't my best. Like that's
Yeah.
something that takes a lot of people, or a lot for a person to say that sometimes. And maybe that one they did really really good, like you said, you had people
Mhm.
saying to you like, oh my god, you were so good, but in your mind you're like, I know I didn't do good. And but that's just what the whole industry is, and really any industry is just sometimes you just learn it through doing it. You really got to learn it through doing
Yeah.
it, and just go like, I know where I need to improve, I know what I have to do to improve, and I got to do it, is what it comes down
Yeah.
to, you know?
And I genuinely, I don't think I did a bad job. Like, I say I couldn't remember my lines. There was only one line that I couldn't get, and it was kind of like a big chunk of text, and I just couldn't get it all out. Um, but I didn't do my best job, and I know I had grown as an actor between season one and season two, and I didn't really think you could see that, and I didn't. But I've always been a big believer that like if you're not 100% committed to the role, like do everybody a favor, like commit or like don't be there because like I think of some actors like that have been on long running shows like Grey's Anatomy or not so much Grey's Anatomy, even NCIS, and like you can tell like a couple seasons before they leave they don't really care anymore, like they're not trying as hard, and I would watch that and I thought that I never want that to be me. So like if we get season three of Odon's, 100% I am going to do things different. I'm going to book more time off school if possible. um, like figure a way to make my schedule better so that I can do my best. And I don't think people are lying to me when they said I did a good job. I don't think people are really that. I don't think people lie to you very often, but I know I could have done better, and next time I will. And you're right, it's a learning curve. So
Yep. And that's all it is. That's all it is. But the fact that you're still able to see that is a big step because
yeah,
you'll have people that will do terrible and like clearly terrible where everybody is saying that was horrible. What are you
mhm.
thinking? But in their mind, they're like, oh, I don't listen to them. It's like, dude,
Yeah,
your director and everything, everyone's literally telling you that you got to pull your socks up and
yeah,
your head's so far up your own ass that you don't, it doesn't comprehend.
yeah,
Um, but being able to see that it really shows how you've grown too as an actress too is that you're
yeah,
able to stop and recognize where where you feel that you have to improve even though everybody
yeah,
says that you're doing great, and I say you're doing great, you're doing really really great
yeah,
in what you're doing and what we're both doing. We're both
yeah,
working on stuff together all the time. Hopefully we'll be able to get people will be able to see that someday.
yeah,
And but it's all about we have the passion for it and we just
mhm.
even if it goes nowhere we're still having a great time doing it.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that's all it comes down to. But I just want to thank you for anytime I ask you to come on the show, it's never a God, do I really have to do that again? It's always a yep, just tell me the date, I'll be there.
Yeah.
And this is probably the last one because it's not working out with this. This is just
Oh yeah, yeah. No, like I should talk to my agent. Like I thought you were gonna be Amy Poehler.
yeah, exactly. What the hell am I doing here? But really want to thank you again for coming on the show today, and just continuing to be you, continuing to inspire people, continuing to just do do what you love to do, and it's really great for people to see and to hear, and inspiring for me to hear that there's people out there that are um trying to make it work in between working different jobs and everything like that, and you're still got a
Yeah.
great attitude about it. So thank you for that, and again, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it, Abby.
Thank you, Frankie. And thank you for always saying yes to me. And sometimes
I gotta
saying no to
stop
me.
saying yes. I just gotta
Yeah,
turn my phone off because
that's right. Delete like block me on Facebook or something. Like
no, literally, guys, like literally how it works. Abby, it's almost like she shoots the bat signal in the sky, and I'm just like I'm there. That's essentially what
yeah,
it's
that's
like.
like I think the second project we were working on, um, it was like a couple nights before we were going to shoot O'Donnell's, and I was like, Frankie, give me a call. You were like, what? And it was like, I have an idea.
Yeah, literally, and it's like how do we make this happen? It's like okay, let's talk when you're in town, okay?
Yeah,
And then that's kind of how it went. You had like a
yeah,
laptop and everything. Like, all right, this is what I got.
yeah,
It was so. But that's so good. That's how a lot of these ideas started. We always got lots that we're working on together, and
Yeah.
very excited to hopefully share it with everybody someday. That's what we're hoping for.
Yeah.
But yeah, Abby, thank you again so much for coming on the show today. As we kind of wrap up here, where can people find you on social media and all that?
Um, where can you find me on on Instagram?
Don't you have Instagram? Yeah.
Yeah, I do have Instagram. Sorry, what is my Instagram? It's Slipp_Abby. You can find me on TikTok. Usually anywhere, it's just a variation of Abby Slipp. Oh, Slipp with two P's. You know, two
Just copy
P's.
and paste it from the episode title. It's in the episode title. So
Oh, but no. Oh, this episode title. I thought you were talking about the credits about on. So I was like,
oh
actually,
that no yeah no.
actually, I
Oh,
didn't.
done. Season 3, episode 1. Abby Slipp. That's what
Yeah.
it's called.
No, but I don't get credited as Abby Slipp. I get credited as Abigail Boleyn Slipp because of a poor choice I made in season 1. And now everything, even my IMDb, is Abby Slipp. Anyway, that's okay.
So should I put Abigail
No,
in the title? Okay, all right.
no, no,
Okay,
don't you
perfect. I
dare.
I will.
Franky, if you do that,
This is
bad
it.
things are gonna happen to you.
I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
YOLO, it's okay. All right. Thank you guys for so yeah, go follow her guys on all social media. Abby, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for
Enjoy the
having
rest of
me.
your day, and
You too.
we will be in touch. We will probably be having a meeting soon, I imagine.
I hope so. We should get on that.
Perfect.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes.
That's what I meant to say.
She just sounded so stern about that. She was just like, yeah, we better. I'm like, okay, all right. I guess we are. Guys, we're going to take a short break. We will be right back. But until then, this is Franky and Abby signing off. Cheers, Abby.
See ya.
Oh,
That was really aggressive.
that
See
was
ya.
very aggressive. Say it more
That was-
calm.
See ya.
There you go. That's more like it.
See ya. Oh, that was fun.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Corkin Entertainment Show. That was me and Abby Slipp. Thank you so much, Abby, as always, for coming on. And as I said, guys, be sure to go check out O'Donn's on Bell Fibe TV-1. And also just be sure to follow Abby on Instagram and all that stuff to keep up to date with all the projects she's up to. So, it's always a blast chatting with her. She's a go-to for this podcast, for sure. Just always a fun time. So thank you very much, Abby. I appreciate it. So moving on with our solo segments today. The first one that I want to talk about is a show or franchise that I talk a lot about on the show. Whether a lot of people still like this show is up for debate. There's still traction for it. There's still traction for this show. I'm talking, of course, about The Walking Dead. So it's been, there's been some reports over the last few years regarding, what the future of the series really holds. Excuse me. So of course we have, the flagship series ended back in 2022, but, afterwards they put out 3 spin-off shows. One's with Rick and Michonne with The Ones Who Live. One's with Daryl and Carol called Daryl Dixon. And then one's Dead City with Maggie and Negan. Dead City Season 3 is currently in development. I don't know if it's coming out this year or next year. Daryl Dixon is ending after Season 4, which is, I presume, is also coming up this year. And The Ones Who Live was advertised as a 1-season thing, but there's speculation that there could be another one. I personally don't think there's going to be, but who knows what's going to happen. But for a long time, there's been people talking, are we going to get some sort of like big crossover type event series that'll bring all the shows back together and bring all these characters together and finally end the show once and for all? It almost seems like a no-brainer. Almost seems like inevitable that it's going to happen. But now there's been some conflicting reports. So the first one, this article is from comicbook.com. Walking Dead crossover show fans have been waiting years for, gets a promising update. And this comes off the heels of Greg Nicotero, who, of course, designs all the zombies, and he's one of the producers, executive producers on The Walking Dead. He was interviewed on the Brandon Davis Show, which is a brand new podcast. Brandon Davis has been a journalist covering Walking Dead for years and years and years. And, excuse me. So he's been interviewing lots of people on the show, and like behind the scenes and things like that. And so he had talked about what the future is of The Walking Dead. So he asks, what's the future, including a series that reunites characters like Rick and Daryl for the first time in years. He revealed there's been a lot of talk about that sort of reunion type show where we get a lot of great characters together. I mean, we've been talking about it for a couple of years. And so that's what he says in the interview. He says, even before the Rick and Michonne show, it was going to be a movie. We're going to do a Walking Dead movie. And then it was like, oh, well, we have to do 6 episodes. And then, and the people wanted to see what happened to Rick. That was it. I think that was the great part about it. It was the excitement of seeing where Rick went and what happened, because it was always intended that way. It was always intended that we follow Rick and see where he goes. So he outright says that there's been talks for a couple of years about doing some sort of reunion show. Doesn't exactly say much details aside from that, just that there's been talks about it. So that's kind of promising. That's promising. But then we get something from Robert Kirkman, the overall creator of The Walking Dead. And this article is from Collider. After 16 years and 6 spin-offs, The Walking Dead creator addresses rumors of an Avengers Endgame-like crossover. According to Robert Kirkman, that idea is not off the table, but is not anywhere near close to simple. In an exclusive interview with MovieWeb, Kirkman was asked directly about the rumors of an Avengers Endgame-style crossover for the franchise, and initially replied, I mean, no. Internally, we would all love to see these characters come back together. Certainly nothing that can be talked about just yet. And that such a reunion would be a logistical undertaking because of everyone's schedules. And that's, yeah, so, and then the quote also says, so it may never happen, may happen in the future, who knows? As I sit here right now, I can't answer that. If there's anybody in the Walking Dead like realm or cast or anything that I could trust between Robert Kirkman and Greg Nicotero, I would probably choose Greg Nicotero's word, because people heard what Robert Kirkman said, the creator of the show, and was basically just like, okay, that's it. He basically said that he doesn't think it's going to happen. But Greg Nicotero has actually been more involved in the show lately instead of Kirkman. Whereas Kirkman, I still remember back when the Walking Dead comic book series ended. This was, geez, how many years ago? Like 6 years ago now, something like that. And they were talking about how it was the issue after, spoiler alert for the comic book series, after Rick had died in the comic book series, they were going to continue the series for many more issues to come. They had released a bunch of covers, and then the very next issue, it was like, actually, you know what, we're done. Those covers are fake. It's not actually happening, you know? So the fact that he was willing to lie about that, I'm like, yeah, I would probably trust Greg Nicotero more than I would trust Robert Kirkman. And that's not a knock against them or anything. I mean, like, you know, it is what it is, and it's their job to be secretive. So, I definitely do have to say that, in my opinion, do I think we're ever going to see a Walking Dead reunion series? Do I think we're ever going to see it? My opinion, I'm going to say probably not. Probably not. I think what they're going to do is, this is what I predicted with Daryl Dixon. Daryl Dixon's going to end, and Rick will probably be at the end of Daryl Dixon. And they're going to just resolve it just like that, I think. I think that's what they're going to do. I don't think, I really don't think at this point now, after The Ones Who Live, I think if you did this during The Ones Who Live, or if you did this in the place of The Ones Who Live, I think this probably could have been a much bigger thing. But because they did The Ones Who Live, they gave Rick the beautiful ending. We saw where Rick went and everything. I just don't think the hype is there now to warrant a full Avengers Endgame type style show to wrap this all up, because it kind of already was. And even like Greg Nicotero said in the interview, he was kind of disappointed. It's not in this article, but it's in the interview that I listened to. He was kind of disappointed that the whole CRM was kind of wiped out in The Ones Who Live. I'm paraphrasing it, but he kind of essentially said that, where he's just like, they were expecting to do a whole lot more, and then all of a sudden, just boom, they're gone, and that's it. And they were kind of expecting that the CRM was going to be the big hoorah. That was going to be the end of it. Didn't quite work out that way. So, yeah, in my opinion, I don't think, like really like money-wise or business-wise or like even story-wise, I don't think we really need to see a big reunion series. If it did come out, I would absolutely be like, I'd be down, absolutely. Like I'd watch it for sure. But if you're asking me, would you rather have a big reunion type series where it's hard to get everybody back, or would you rather just have Rick appear at the end of Daryl Dixon and they reunite and that's it? Just be done. I think that's probably the best option at this point. Now, of course, there is the whole Dead City angle. Now, what about Maggie and Negan and everything? I think at this point it's... you could end that show and tie to maybe, but I just don't think there's a point now adding a whole extra show or movie or event series, whatever the case may be, just to warrant this crossover reunion situation. So I think there's easier ways to do it, and I think that's the way they're going to go about it. So that's just my opinion. I'd love to hear what everybody else thinks. Do you think that the Walking Dead reunion series is it worth happening? Do you think it will happen? I'd be really curious to see what people think about that. Yeah, that's just my thoughts. I don't see it happening, and I'm not really interested in it, to be honest. I think it's just have them all wrap it up in Daryl Dixon and Dead City, and I think that's it. That's all. If a reunion series does come of it, I will definitely watch it. And but just trying to be realistic here, because as Kirkman said, it's everyone's schedules, and even I'm sure getting Andrew Lincoln back for The Ones Who Live was a big was a lot of work, because he's busy with stuff. Denai Guerrero is busy with Marvel and playwriting and all that stuff. It was probably a hassle to just try to get their schedules to line up so they can do this. So doing a whole other series, yeah, it'd probably be a bit more tricky. So, but let me know what you guys think. I'm really curious to see what you all think about whether we will see a Walking Dead reunion series or not, or if the ship has sailed on that. This episode of the Corcoran Entertainment Show is brought to you by Holy Hydrogen. Okay, guys, let's be real. We all try our best to stay hydrated, right? But not all water is created equal. That's where Holy Hydrogen comes in. They've got this awesome device called the Lourdes Hydrofix Premium Edition, and it takes clean water to the next level by infusing it with molecular energy. That means you're not just drinking water. You're giving your body extra support with every sip. Better energy, less inflammation, and a real boost to your immune system. So try the Lourdes Hydrofix Premium Edition today by going to shop.holyhydrogen.com/Corcoran and use the promo code Corcoran for $100 off your purchase. Again, that's shop.holyhydrogen.com/Corcoran and use the promo code Corcoran at checkout. Stay hydrated and stay healthy. And so speaking of shows about whether we're going to see more of it or not, our last discussion topic today is going to be talking about, I think, hands down, you can argue with me on this, whatever, I don't care. One of the funniest shows that has aired on TV within the last few years is Ted. Seth MacFarlane's Ted, the prequel series to the two Ted films. And season 2 just hit, and I gotta say, I still am not ready to say it's better than Ted season 1, but I think hands down, the whole Ted series that we've had is way better than both those movies combined. I just think Ted 1 is one of my all-time favorite comedies, hands down. Ted 2, it's certainly not as good as the first. It certainly is not as good as the first. It has its moments. And but it's still an enjoyable film for me. And but this Ted series, man, is so friggin' good. It is so funny. It is so like just it's so well written. It's so like just I really can't even put into words just how well put together this show is. And this was coming as from somebody who at first, as soon as I heard they were doing a prequel series, I was like, what's the point? Just do another Ted movie. And then after I see this, I'm like, yeah, no, I want 5 more seasons of this. This is so good. They could keep this going for a long time, please. But according to Seth MacFarlane, unfortunately, it doesn't sound like there's any plans for Ted season 3. Because the show is really expensive. And that this is the article coming from Variety. That's what the article is called. Seth MacFarlane says there's no plan for Ted season 3 because the show is really expensive. So the quote that Seth says is basically, what I kept hearing from Peacock and Universal was, listen, the show is really expensive to produce and there's no way to do it at a lower cost. So I said, all right, I heard you loud and clear. So I wrote the last scene. Spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't seen Ted season 2 yet. Just a quick spoiler. So I wrote the last scene with Max, who of course plays John, walking into a gym, presumably coming out as Mark Wahlberg from the first Ted film. MacFarlane explained. So showrunners Brad Walsh and Paul Corrigan and I kind of paint ourselves into a corner. Is there a way to do it? There's always a way to do anything. But at the moment, it might have to take some narrative acrobatics. There's no plan that I have heard of at the moment to do season 3. So he doesn't outright say that there's not going to be a season 3. It's just that there's no plans to do a season 3. I think because he mentioned, of course, I mean, this is the big thing that I also took into consideration, is that when you look at the CGI for Ted and just how well done it is and everything, it's like that can't be cheap. There's there's a reason why Ted season 2 came out like a little over 2 years after Ted season 1. It was just getting the CGI for the Ted character is just insane. So to me, it makes all the sense in the world why, some people say, well, Peacock could be crazy to cancel their biggest show. Yes, that's true, but you also got to look at, I'm sure there's a lot more factors at play that we're not aware of, that of course they're not going to give us their exact numbers and what they're making and this and that. So I think, from a business point of view, I can completely understand why Peacock is kind of, I would say skeptical, but they're a little bit more, they don't want to roll the dice any more than they think they should, just because of how expensive it is and because of how long it takes. Like even seeing season 2 of Ted, where they had the Dungeons and Dragons episode, they had an AI Bill Clinton in season 2, which was just like, I couldn't I just laughed my ass off as soon as that scene came out. I could not believe it. So there's some stuff in this season that I'm like, okay, that I think the Dungeons and Dragons episode alone easily exceeded their budget, on top of not just the crazy environments and of the D&D dream sequence, but also the Ted CGI on top of that. I mean, it's cool to have live action people and real actors doing that, but when you have also a CGI bear that has to look real, yeah, that kind of becomes a problem, the money really starts to add up and everything. So listen, I completely understand. As much as I'd love to see a season 3, I'm going to be realistic at this point that I don't think we are going to see a season 3. We are, of course, getting the animated sequel series, which to me, that almost sounds like it's going to be okay, just because Ted isn't going to get a season 3 because the live action series is so expensive to produce, let's end it at season 2. And then we'll continue the Ted series, just doing a live-action animated series that brings back Mark Wahlberg, because one of the reasons they couldn't get Mark Wahlberg on for this big, long season of live-action TV was because of his schedule. He's Mark Wahlberg. And same with Amanda Seyfried and everything. So switching it to animation and doing a sequel series, it makes sense when you look at it, If you ask me what would I prefer to see, I prefer to see more 10 more seasons of the prequel series because it's just so friggin' funny. Like, it even got to the point that in Ted season 2, I was actually looking forward more to seeing the other characters too than I was of Ted. And we watched the series for Ted, you know? And that's how you know a show is doing good. You know, if you watch it just for one character and you hate all the other characters, it's kind of, you know, but I wasn't looking forward to the other characters because I hated Ted. I love Ted, but the other characters were so entertaining that I wanted to see their stories too. So, yeah, be sure, guys, you guys got to check out Ted, the first 2 seasons of it. I just kind of wanted to give my thoughts because I have seen a lot of people saying that Peacock is stupid for not wanting more of it. I think they want it. It's just there's no way to do it at a cheaper cost. If they were to do it at a cheaper cost, the Ted CGI would look like the Scorpion King in The Mummy Returns. You know, it's just, that is what it is. You know, you really just have to. That's just the unfortunate reality of it. It'll just look shit if you do it any cheaper. So, and that's not a knock against the live action actors, because I mean they're doing what they can. It's just with the CGI bear. That's why people come to see it. That's why people are seeing it. And although at this point I wouldn't mind seeing if they, you know, Ted and John move on, which they do in the live action films. If they were to go on and do like a Maddie and Susan focus type series and not have John and Ted around, I'd watch that. I would watch that. They've established it to the point now where they've done 2 seasons of it, and the point that I love those characters so much, I would watch it. So we'll see. We'll see what comes of it. I'm leaning more towards that. You know, season 2 kind of left it off in a way that I think this is probably the last we're going to see of the Ted live action, but we're gonna get them in animated form in probably sometime later this year, which I am kind of looking forward to seeing. But be sure to let me know what you guys think about that. Is it a good idea to not renew Ted for season 3? How do you kind of see it? Be sure to let me know your thoughts on that. And we're gonna call it for the show today, guys. I want to thank my guest, Abby Slipp, for coming on. Be sure to check out O'Donn's seasons 1 and 2 on Bell Fibe TV-1. Guys, thank you guys for listening to the show today. Hopefully my sickness, lingering voice didn't throw you off too much. I tried my best to push through it. And there were a couple times I had a cough, but aside from that, hope you enjoyed the show today. And be sure to give us a nice review, rating, all that good stuff. And we'll see you guys in the next episode. But until then, this is Franky signing off. Have a great week, everybody.